Hi YouTube. Have you ever wanted to be creative? Yes or no? I'm going to go over my experience of trying to be creative. I could ramble on for hours, but I think I will first go over some stuff I want to talk about first before I actually get started and hopefully keep the video under 20 minutes. And that will be the issue of burnout. I have experienced it at least a dozen times. Whether it is making my own website, learning Blender, drawing, editing videos, etc., the list goes on. Now for me, it feels like that I am not learning at a good enough rate, that I am just not doing things correctly, but in reality, we all have our own ways of doing things. Don't beat yourself up over that. I did, and it is a huge regret on my end. I am now in a position where I have to balance the job and school, so that leaves me with less time to do the things that I want to do. And yet, I finally managed to hold a mindset that helps me be more productive than what I had previously. I could get extremely philosophical on you right now, but I don't think I would do that. Maybe in future videos or on my second channel that I have been thinking about rebooting for like the third or fourth time. But for this video, I want to keep it lighter. Just let me know what I should do in the comments, I guess. I keep a serious tone on this section on purpose because it is something lots of people struggle with, including me. So now let's go into the meat of the video. As a child, I was always creative, but never really artistically inclined. My parents would even tell me this one story of how a teacher would chew me up because I never colored inside the lines. Well, I don't know the details, but maybe it is the teacher who was in the wrong. Maybe my mind was permeating borders and reaching deep into the matrix, and it would be in the form of coloring outside the lines. If that is what happened, then I lost that ability a long time ago, because I'm just a normal guy now. Maybe not completely normal. But moving on to later grades, I was terrible at paying attention. I blamed that on ADHD, and would always be a straight C kind of student. Do I care about my grades, though? Not really. Not really any of the grades from before college, but at the time, I felt like I was just bad at learning. No, that was because I was bored. I need gameplay of Subway Surfers playing or something in the corner to keep me focused, but instead, the way I kept myself entertained is that I would draw on virtually all of my assignments. They aren't particularly good, but they can be funny to look at. Good thing I saved a good amount of my homework stuff to show off. It really shows off my personality back when I was a wee baby. Tell me in the comments which one was your favorite. I already know that I'm going to be cringing a bit when looking back at these. Part 2, Rail Projects. In this part, I will start going over some stuff that I tried making, whether it be comics, videos, and other stuff that I could label as creative. To start off, when I was smaller, my favorite thing to do was to create my own comics, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a pretty good sense of humor back then. That was about the only thing that I did in grade school. High school is a different story, though. I pretty much stopped drawing comics completely, but I still drew a lot of one-off doodles. Unfortunately, I don't want to I don't want to do a deep search for them, so I don't really have much to show off right now. During high school, I also took my first class about Photoshop. Yippee! It was amazing, and it gave me a huge creative boost that did not live particularly long, but it gave me a good understanding of the basics that I still use to this day. I also took a web design class, but I didn't take in as much since that class used a web maker kind of tool, and I'd rather do everything from scratch. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, even though I'm really beginner stuff on it. I also took an art class during high school, but I gave a lot of stuff away to some little kid, so I don't really have anything to show for it. The kid probably enjoyed it more than me anyways. So, that was pretty much what I did during high school. Going into college, however, is a completely different story. I would need my own laptop, so I went with this cool gaming one that was on sale at the time. It still works really well for a 3-year-old laptop. with a computer this powerful, I would start recording gaming videos. My first video would be some of the first uses of this laptop, and the performance blew me away. This is my first time playing outside the world of 60 frames per second. I even would be able to record and make this silly and mildly edited video.
Top class!
I would go on to play more games and make more videos. You can see the inconsistencies of my motivation, where there would be moments with groups of uploads, and some with month-long gaps. Even some games I haven't touched in a long while, like Rocket League and some Nintendo games. Even though I have a perfectly good capture card I won at a raffle at a tournament once in another state. I would also learn about Blender, and that would have the most inconsistent motivation. There would be moments where I learn some cool stuff only to take months away from the program and forget that stuff. I also would think about things like programming, making music, or game development even, but those ideas never took off yet, and I don't think they ever will, honestly. In short, a lot of burnout came from biting off more than I could chew and then regretting things afterwards. I am now taking things slower, but at the same time, learning faster than ever, which takes me to current projects. Okay, so that was quite the ramble. Well, I want to dedicate myself to doing something that I think is cool. Problem is that there is a ton of things that I consider cool. That is why I am currently working on my own personal projects and trying not to take on too much this time. Those things being my website, learning 3D with Blender and maybe Godot, and learning how to edit videos better. That is already a lot on my plate, and that on top of college and work, it does keep me quite busy, but to me, it is worth it 100%. For me, it is more about the journey now. I used to care more about the destination, but I'm just more productive when I have fun with the process. My main priorities right now is making better videos and my current little website. There will be more updates on this stuff in the future probably, but other than that, I don't really have much else that I want to show off yet. So I just want to go over my experience with trying to be creative. I could go into more details in the future, but for now, just wanted to create something kind of vague and see where it goes from there. Maybe with better editing and stuff in the future. I think I broke a couple of settings in this video project, so I can't really do all I want to do. Maybe I could also take a half-year break again from YouTube. No telling what happens in the future. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, please, if you want to keep this little channel motivated.